Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you did join us, thank you for watching this potentially in the future if you are decided to do that. My name is Allison Bessiker. I'm the Senior Coordinator for Networks and Engagement, so I primarily support our membership. Uh, so if you have any questions, yeah, I'm your human. I'm just going to get started by acknowledging the land that we are on. So, Volunteer Alberta continues our ongoing unlearning journey as we seek to increase the importance of reflections as we tie each other to our lands. Our main office is situated in Treaty 6 territory, an area that holds Indigenous names but it's referred to the Nehewin as the Anamase Waskagan, colonially as Edmonton, and that is also where I'm located. Our staff board and work extend to treaties 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10 territories, and we affirm the importance of honoring these historical agreements as well as future treaties. The land we call Alberta is ancestral territories to present-day Indigenous people, including the Neahoan, Dene, Erkata, Dakota, Anasabi, Netsitabi, Inuit, Métis, and they cared for advocate for the lands, water, animals for many generations, despite historical ongoing harm and actions against the community. We are grateful for the stewardship of this land and the act of reconciliation and goodwill, our intentions to ensure that our organization, along with entire social impact nonprofit volunteer sector, can become good partners in supporting the land and communities. And that also ties very much into what we're talking about today is a cooperative model with access. So I'm going to send it to Tyler.
Great. Thank you very much, Allison. And thank you, of course, to Melissa, sorry, for joining us, and to everybody else who may be watching this in the future. I am just going to share my other screen here. And if you don't mind confirming if you can see my other screen, that would be great.
Not
I
yet.
have not yet. Let's try this here. Maybe I clicked on the wrong button.
Oh yeah, we can see it now.
Perfect. All right. So as Allison mentioned, my name is Tyler Paturel. I'm representing, I guess, kind of a crossbreed of cooperatives, if you want to call it that. Today, obviously talking about Access Shared Services Cooperative and the group buying or collaborative buying efforts that Access has put together for the community impact sector, for volunteer organizations, and for cooperatives throughout the country. And through its partnerships, both Volunteer Alberta and Econo Co-op, who I also work for, are member owners of Access Shared Services Co-op to help bring these services to our members. On top of that, I also serve as a board of director for Cooperatives and Mutuals Canada. I serve as a board of director and the treasurer for the Nova Scotia Cooperative Council, and on Canada's Emerging Cooperators with Co-ops and Mutuals Canada as well. So talking about group buying today, Access Shared Services Cooperative, which is based out of Alberta, was created by four either cooperative or community impact organizations, such as Volunteer Alberta, in order to help bring benefits to these businesses by negotiating contracts or working together to gain preferred pricing or preferred services with service providers throughout the country. Focusing, of course, on large service providers first and more direct needs of the membership. And of course, other services that may be more specific to the local need are being considered in there as well. One of the major differences from Access Shared Services program as compared to some other programs that we may recognize or remember from the past, Access Shared Services Cooperative doesn't require bulk purchasing by the season with any of our suppliers, and our suppliers or our service providers are required through our contract to serve members both big and small. So regardless of whether your organization is formally comprised of one individual or whether your organization has hundreds of people involved in it, they through our contracts are required to serve each of our organizations that are members of Access equally, assuming that, of course, the minimum requirements of doing business with them are met. So, for example, some providers may require a minimum purchase, a dollar amount in order to get free shipping, or something of the sort. There may be a fee if you're below that shipping requirement, but regardless of your size or location, if they can get there, they are required to provide that service or sell the goods and provide the shipping services, of course, with that as well. Depending on the service provider, some of them invoicing happens a little bit differently. With some of them, we actually have a tracking system, which is done in collaboration with Econo Co-op, where purchases will be made as per normal, either through an online ordering portal with the supplier or speaking directly with a customer service representative. And through Econo Co-op, the invoices for those purchases will actually be submitted by the supplier to them. And members will be required to pay Econo Co-op for those invoices, and then Econo Co-op will pay the supplier on behalf of all of the members. With purchases through that system, any qualifying purchases, which is the vast majority of purchases made, are entitled to a 2% quarterly return to the member. So what that means is pre-tax and pre-shipping fees, if the services are if the purchase of the products are, for example, $100, then at the end of the quarter, we will actually return $2 of that 100 back to the member. And that comes from actually service fees that suppliers pay to group purchasing organizations, as our mandate and our goal is to keep as much money back in the hands of our members and for us to run as administratively thin as possible so that the organizations on the ground can be generating that impact and using those funds where they're needed in their communities. All right, I'll get started at a high level. And either Allison or Melissa, if there's any questions, please feel free to interrupt me, and I'm more than happy to answer. I'll also save time at the end for any questions to be answered as well. On Access Shared Services website, which is sharedservices.coop, there is this nice flip book. If you go under group purchasing on the website and scroll down, it is on there. So anything that I'm going to show today is able to be seen online as well if you're looking for a copy of this. So as we discussed, of course, through the benefits of group buying, there's a 2% quarterly rebate on most qualified purchases, and that gets deposited as cash directly back into the member's account. We're just going to do a high-level overview of the suppliers that we have relationships with through our, of course, cooperative ecosystem within our membership. So for office and cleaning supplies, we have relationships with Staples, with Hamster, and with Imperial Dade. Staples and Hamster offer, of course, your traditional office supplies, your cleaning materials, your office furniture, of course. And Imperial Dade is more of a commercial cleaning supply company. Some may know it as Romco in Ontario, although they've just gone through a rebrand and most of the country is now advertised through Imperial Dade. IT and telecommunications, we have a relationship with a Prince Edward Island company called Connexium. And on top of supplying VoIP or voice over internet phone systems, they also resell Bell Internet and Bell cell services for anybody who may be interested at a significantly preferred price. And that's a price directly for our membership and not something that they offer to the open market. For office furniture, as mentioned, we have Hamster and Staples. And for any office spaces that are looking to, I'll say, modernize with an outdoor space, We do also have a relationship with a playground provider called Congo, and they're based out of New Brunswick. For anybody with commercial kitchens, we have a relationship with Russell Hendricks. So anything from dishwashers to refrigerators to stoves and ovens, um, all your large commercial kitchen items, of course, can be purchased through them. For food in Alberta specifically, we have relationships with Cisco and Gordon Food Services. We do also have a relationship with Fresh Start Foods, but in Alberta, they distribute through Gordon Food Services supply chain. With each of these suppliers, including the ones mentioned before, we have on average a 10% discount throughout the entire lineup of these suppliers. With food, as an example, we have 250 products that are priced more competitively under our program. And then, of course, a general discount on the rest of their product lines, understanding that most of these organizations have around 40,000 SKUs in their warehouse. With Purelator, we have up to a 74% discount. And we have a relationship with Technology Helps. So Technology Helps is a Calgary-based not-for-profit organization that provides managed IT, cybersecurity, and technology procurement. And this would be more of a direct service provider where the relationship would be directly with the organization, as opposed to something that would get invoiced through our partner Econa Co-op. For playground and park equipment, of course, speaking outdoor, but we do also have indoor equipment or educational furniture. We have partnerships with Wintergreen and Congo. And I apologize that this document is not updated, but we do more recently have a relationship with Scholar's Choice as well, which would be a popular educational supply company, including materials, equipment, furniture, and other needs for individuals in that sector. For those who are doing larger transportation roles within their communities, such as drop off or pickup, maybe it's a community transportation organization. For example, in our community, we have a community transportation cooperative. We have a relationship with Girardin Bluebird, who not only sells buses, but also does supply the equipment to modify or renovate vehicles so that they're accessible. We have a relationship with Perkopolis. So rather than the organization itself having to set up an account and maintain their member or their employees, account codes for Perkopolis, we of course take care of that administrative process for the organization. I say employees. This could be employees, volunteers, people who are generally just involved with an organization, of course. And Perkopolis offers discounts to hundreds of different companies for everything from flights through WestJet to train tickets to shopping at clothing stores. And so it's often used as just an additional advantage to provide to staff or people engaged with an organization. Rotator is a Alberta-based kind of like a CAA, if you will. My understanding on the history of the organization is that it was started by a newcomer to Canada who ended up stuck on the side of the road and was there for hours and hours on end, as many of us may have experienced in the past. And so they started Rotator. It is across the country, and we've created a relationship with them to provide advantageous pricing, of course, for our membership as well. And at a high level, those are the categories and the items that we provide to our members. Of course, I'm always willing to answer any questions that are coming through. For both Access and for Econa Co-op, my role is actually to negotiate contracts with suppliers. And so just as an example, we have conversations happening at the moment with about 15 new suppliers that we are trying to get preferable pricing or services, of course, to our membership. And we're always taking in new inquiries from our members as well, saying, hey, we would really it would really be helpful for us if we had X or Y service or product available to us, or something that we need on a day-to-day basis. As we go out and reach out to the rest of our membership, we come to understand that many of our members are using a certain product or service, and that there is a way for us to go and, of course, help either financially or gain a more personable service experience for our members with a certain supplier through group negotiations or by pooling the resources or the volume that our members are bringing to access shared services. So now, typically what I like to do, of course, for those who are on the call is I've gone through this relatively quick and high level, but if anybody wants to ask questions or if there's something a little more specific that maybe people want to have more information on, I'm more than happy to answer those questions now as best as possible.
And for anyone that's watching the recording, this is where it's going to end. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can connect you with Tyler. Um, and I will stop the recording.